Hello everyone, this is Dr. Mitesh Gala. Welcome to Rough Book, a learning companion. Video, we are going to study constructions. Constructions, very simple topic. 100% one question on the board for 3 marks is what we see every year. I will try and make it as simple as possible and effective that it becomes very smooth for you. So basically, what are we going to learn in this topic? Number 1, construction of tangents to the circle from a point outside the circle. What are tangents? Tangents are those lines which touch the circle only in one point. Tangents touch the circle only in one point. So how to construct tangents from a point outside the circle is what we are going to learn. The next thing we are going to learn is constructing tangents from a point on the circle. From a point on the circle anywhere, we will learn how to draw tangents from there. The third thing we are going to learn is construction of circumcircle. So two types of circumcircle we are going to see here. Number 1 is circumcircle to a triangle and number 2 circumcircle to a hexagon. Fourth, construction of incircle. Again two types. One is with the circles, incircle with triangles, and second is incircle to a hexagon. The next one is construction of hexagon. Very important. 2 years back in the boards we had seen this. Every 2 or 3 years once this hexagon is repeated. So very important question. And lastly, combination questions where we see construction along with loci, along with the above whatever things that we are seeing here, all of them being combined together. So that's what we are going to see in this topic. So let's hit it. Let's start with chapter number 19, constructions. Get into the textbook and start with the exercise for constructions of polygon, we need to understand 4 basic things, basic tools for construction. The first one, perpendicular bisector. The second one, angle bisector. The third one, how to draw perpendicular from a point on the line. And fourth one, how to draw perpendicular from a point outside the line to the line. So once we know these 4 things, after that it is going to be very simple to tackle the exercise. So first let's understand these basic construction techniques and then we can get into the textbook. So let's begin with the first one, perpendicular bisector. So our first tool, perpendicular bisector, which will look like this. How do we construct this? So let's get into it. First obviously you will take your side AB. We're taking AB of 8 centimeters so that it is easy to bisect. So we're plotting the point A and B 8 centimeters. Once you've done this, keep your compass on point A then and take the radius on the compass as greater than half of AB. I repeat, take the radius on the compass greater than half of AB. Otherwise the point of intersection will not appear. So keeping the compass on point A, taking the radius greater than half of AB, let's mark an arc above the line AB. Once we've done the same thing, we are going to do below the line AB without changing the radius now. The radius on the compass has to remain the same. Same process we will follow on from point B without changing the radius of the compass. Whatever we took for the first arc, same for the remaining 3 arcs. Now the point of intersection which we see of these 4 arcs, when we connect these 2 points, automatically what we have now derived is the perpendicular bisector of AB. So this line is dividing AB right at the middle and that too at 90 degree. So I hope with this now you know how to draw perpendicular bisector. Let's get into our second tool, angle bisector. So how will the angle bisector look like? It's right over there on the screen. Now how are you going to construct this? So start with construction. What are we going to do? First obviously you're going to create any angle of any measurement. So we're taking the base, naming it as AB. Once the base is drawn, we'll draw an angle to it of any measurement and we'll call it as AC. Once the angle is generated, how are you going to do the bisector of this angle? So keep your compass on point A, take suitable radius and cut an arc like this. The 2 points that you will get on the line are C and D with the arc. Now keep your compass on C and cut an arc like this of any measurement. A slightly greater is better. The same radius, keep it on D and cut another arc. So 2 arcs, these 2 same radius. The point of intersection of these 2 arcs, if you join with A, now what we will get is called as your angle bisector, which will look like this. Let's see if the angle bisector, the measurements are correct. So the first angle, that is DAE, is 30 degrees. Let's look at the second angle, that is EAB, also is 30 degrees. So what have we generated now is the angle bisector. I hope you get it now how to draw the angle bisector. So what are we now drawing is a perpendicular from a point on the line. It will look like this. There is a point A, and from point A on the line anywhere we are drawing a perpendicular. So how are we going to draw the perpendicular? Let's look into it. So first obviously we are going to construct any line and mark a point A on that. Yeah, so that's your line right over there, and we are marking a point A on that. Then take your compass, place it on point A and take a suitable radius, not very big, and construct an arc just like this, which is shown on the screen. Once you've constructed the arc like this, complete semicircle, keep your arc on this point and cut an arc. Keep your arc on the other point and cut another arc. This point of intersection, if I join with A, automatically what I will get is your perpendicular from point A. Let me make you understand what have we done. We first kept the arc on this point, which was 0 degrees. And then we kept the arc on the compass on this point, which was 180 degrees. So basically we bisected 0 and 180. So we get the midpoint of that, that is 90 degree, or mid angle of that, that is 90 degree. There are two methods to construct 90 degree. One is this, which we did. Second, I would have cut an arc over here at 60 and then 120, which we already know how to draw. And then 60 and 120, if you bisect, what you get is 90. Any methods are allowed. Whichever method you feel you are comfortable, you can do that. So that's your perpendicular from a point bisector. So now we are trying to understand how to draw a perpendicular from a point outside the line, which looks like this. The point outside the line is point A, and that's your line. So how will we draw this perpendicular? Let's look into it. So first, obviously the base of any line is what we are going to do. Once we get the base, we will mark a point A anywhere outside the line. Once you've drawn the base and the point A outside the line, take your compass, keep it on point A. Take suitable radius so that it can reach to the bottom line, and cut your arcs just like this, as you can see on the screen. So you have to cut two arcs, one here and the second one here, both of the same radius. Can you see these two arcs? Then keep your compass on the first arc, take suitable radius and cut an arc here. Now without changing the radius again, keep this on this point and cut another arc. Wherever the two arcs intersect, join it with point A, and what you will then see is your perpendicular being drawn from a point A to a line that's 90 degrees. So I hope now you understand how to drop a perpendicular from a point outside the line. We're beginning with sum number 1. Sum number 1 is talking about tangents to be drawn to the circle from a point outside the circle. So let's look at the question right up over there along with the rough diagram. Rather, why don't you try the rough diagram first, then come back and I'll put the question up, right? So pause the video, draw the rough diagram and then come back. So there your question is with the rough diagram. It says draw a circle of radius 3 centimeter. After that, take a point P from the center O at a distance of 5 centimeter and draw two tangents to the circle through this point P. So how are you going to go about it? So obviously first thing we are going to do is drawing a circle. So can you see the circle being drawn there? So I'm fixing a point O, and from point O taking a radius of 3 centimeters, and the circle can be seen right over there. Once your circle is drawn, let's take from O a straight line outside at a distance of 5 to get our point P. So from O a straight line is going out. Can you see that up over there? And that point where it goes will be your point P. So we've taken P at a distance of 5 from O. Now how are you going to construct tangents from this point P? That's very important. So the easiest method is you take OP, segment OP, and bisect it. Bisect OP. How to bisect? Take more than half. We already know the angle or the side bisector. So take more than half, bisect it up and down from both sides. Draw your perpendicular bisector. Whichever point it hits on OP, from that point take the radius till O and draw a circle passing through OP. So basically we are making OP as a diameter. Okay, draw this much and then come back. So let's see how does it go. So I'm keeping my compass on point O and cutting radius more than half, one arc up and one more arc down. Likewise I'm going to keep it on P then, and then one arc up and one arc down. Can you see the arc being drawn there down? and now the second one up, right? We will join both these points of intersection of the arcs, and then the line that we pass through these 2 points of intersection is going to be your perpendicular bisector of seg OP. Let's fix that point where it is hitting OP as some point. I think point M maybe. Now point M is your midpoint of OP. Keep your compass on M, go to P as your radius and construct a circle. This circle that you've drawn is almost taking you right at the end of the sum. How will you get your tangent? So can you see this point of intersection here? Yeah, this point, if you join with P, it is going to hit this line P whatever A, let's call this as A. So if I say PA, it is going to touch the circle only in one point, and therefore automatically it becomes your tangent. So let's see how to draw it. So I'm fixing my point A at this point of intersection, taking a scale, connecting it with P and A together. This point I'm taking it as B because there are going to be two tangents, remember that. One on top, one at the bottom. So from P, if you join it, you got your first tangent. And now again from P, if I join with B, I will get my second tangent. They have also told you to find the length of the tangent. If you forget to write that, you lose 1 mark straight. And remember, both the tangents, the length is going to remain the same. It can't be different. Don't write one as 4, another as 4.1. Write both as same. That's the property of the tangents. So measure it and write how much is it. So there you go. Right over here. How much is it? 4 centimeters. Are you getting it? Everybody. There you go. So we got 4 centimeters as the length of the tangent. If you happen to forget the measurement, you will lose 1 mark straight. Very important sum from exam point of view, drawing tangents to the circle from a point outside. So repeating the entire process, draw your circle, draw the point which is going to go out of the circle. Whatever line you've constructed, bisect it. Whatever the point of intersection, keep your compass, extend till P, that means make MP as your radius and construct your entire circle. Wherever it hits the 2 points on the original circle, just join with this point P. Automatically what you get are the 2 tangents. I hope I made you understand how to draw tangents to a circle from a point outside the line. I hope you manage it well. Do not copy, try it on your own. If you copied, you should try one more sum on your own. You can take sum number 2, which is similar to this, outside the line. The next question that I want you to begin with is sum number 4. To read the question, draw the rough diagram and see what you understand and then come back. Alright, it says draw a circle of radius 4.5 and then draw 2 tangents to the circle such that the angle between the tangents is 60 degrees. How are you going to draw such tangents? So if you look at the rough diagram carefully, the property of tangent says that the tangent and the radius will always meet at 90 degree. So if you look at point A, it is 90 degree. That's the property of tangent. Likewise, if you look at the bottom at point B, again at point B it is going to be 90 degrees. And if you look at the entire quadrilateral P, A, O, B, the total of all the angles is 360. You already know 3 angles. One is given to you 60. The other 2 by property are 90 and 90. So if you apply angle sum property, you directly get angle AOB, which is 120 degrees. Now that you know how much is AOB, your life becomes easy. How are you going to construct it? Listen, so you can try and go ahead by pausing this video right now. First, draw a circle of 4.5. Fix your point O. Anywhere draw a line on the circle or let it go outside the circle. And then that line, wherever it intersects on the circle, name it as B. Cut an arc of 120 and get your A. So basically you're getting the 2 radii to get your point A and B at an angle of 120 degrees. Once you get this 120 degrees, yeah, your life will become much easier. You got this 120, then from point A and B, we will draw tangents. That is 90 degrees. How to draw it? Let's see. If you can try on your own, pause the video, see how far can you take it. If you get stuck, come back, I will help you. So here you go. So fixing point O and constructing a circle of radius 4.5. I hope you are going with me, or maybe pause the video and trying on your own, but no one copying please. Now keep your pencil on point O and construct a line, random line anywhere. Wherever it hits the circle, let's name it as point B. We know that AOB is 120. So OB, taking that as your base, construct 120 degrees. How to do that? So keeping on O, cut an arc of suitable radius. Now keep it on this point and cut your arc without changing the radius. Again keep your compass on this point, again cut one more arc without changing the radius. I hope these basics are known. Join this point of intersection and this point O, and what you automatically get is 120 degrees. This point that we've got, we will name it as point A. So we got point A, we got this as 120 degrees. That's the first thing that we have to start. Now the next part, how will you draw tangents from A and B is what we need to know. So we know that A, that is angle OAP, is going to be 90 degrees. So I need a 90 degree from A and a 90 degree from B. So keep your compass on the point, cut an arc. How to draw 90 degree? So cut one entire 180, and then from 0 and 180 cut two more arcs. Wherever they intersect, if you join it with that particular point, automatically what you get is a 90 degree. Let's see how to work it out. So keeping your compass on point B or point A, cut an arc of 180 degrees. Yeah. Then keep your compass on this first point, suitable radius, extend it slightly and cut an arc. Keep your compass on this point and cut one more arc. Wherever these two points arcs intersect, join it with A and extend it. So automatically what we have got is a first tangent. Repeat the process on point B. So cutting an arc of 180. Then we'll keep the compass here, extend it slightly and cut an arc. Then without changing the radius, keep it on this point and cut the second arc. Automatically where they intersect, if I join it with B, I will get my second tangent. So we've managed to get our two tangents. Wherever they intersect, we will call that point as point P. If you happen to measure this angle APB, it will automatically be 60 degrees. Why? Because this is 90, this is 90 and this is 120, and total of a quadrilateral is always 360. So we managed to get our entire construction. So we understood the second part. First one was constructing tangents from a point outside the circle. Second one is constructing the tangents from the circle. So from a point on the circle was A, we constructed a tangent, and from B. So that is your second type which you can expect in the exam. So we finished two parts. One is constructing tangents outside the circle point, and second is constructing tangents from a point on the circle. I hope you managed to get this one. The next sum I want you to try is sum number 8. Sum number 8 is a good example of circumcircle, the third type what we need to learn. Alright, so for circumcircle of a triangle, they have given you some dimensions of a triangle. Draw the rough diagram, come back, and then we'll talk. So that's how your rough diagram looks like. Yeah, they have given you that for triangle ABC, let AB be the base with 6 cm, BC 6.2, and angle CAB to be 60 degrees. So all of us can construct the triangle. Pause the video right now, construct the triangle, come back, and then we will talk about circumcircle. Or you want to know it right now? Alright, circumcircle you can always draw. See, they're saying pass a circle from a point such that it passes through A, B and C. That means circumcircle. Circumcircle passes through all the three vertices of the triangle. To draw a circumcircle, we need to remember the code word CS. What is CS? CS, C is circumcircle and S is side bisector. For in circle, we will remember the code word as IA. So CS, I call it as company secretary, and IA, Indian Airlines. What is IA? I is in circle and A is angle bisector. So when you need circumcircle, CS, that means you're going to draw side bisector. And when you need in circle, IA, Indian Airlines, you're going to draw angle bisector. Right now we are into circumcircle, we are going to draw side bisectors. So once you draw your triangle ABC, take any two sides, get their side bisectors. Wherever the two side bisectors intersect, from that point, if you draw a circle through ABC, you will get a proper circumcircle. Let's see how are we going to go about. Pause the video, try on your own. So I'm taking my base AB, which is 6 cm, naming it as A and B. Come on, pause the video, try on your own. Why you want to copy everything in life? Be original. Come on, do it on your own. I'm sure you can manage it. Great job. So AB is 6 centimeter. Now I want to get an angle of 105 from angle A, I guess. Is it? Yeah, 60 degrees, not 105. So keep your compass on A, cut an arc, and then from this point cut one more arc without changing your radius. What you got over here is automatically 60 degree. Join it with A and you got your first angle, that is 60 degree. The next thing we want is BC 6.2. So keep your compass on B and cut an arc of 6.2 on this line. Automatically you will get your point C. There you go. Can you see that? Yeah. Now that you got your point C, complete your triangle and you got your triangle ABC. Once you got your triangle ABC, which you can see right over there, remember to label everything. If you forget to label, automatically you will lose your marks. The next target is circumcircle. So we take AB and bisect it. So take more than half from point A, cut an arc up like that and cut one arc down as well without changing the radius. Again, without changing the radius, keep it on point B here, cut an arc on top and cut an arc down as well. So when you cut these two arcs, these 2 points of intersection of these two arcs, which is this one and this one, the blue ones, when you join them, you get your angle side bisector of AB. Exactly same process, we'll get the side bisector of the second side, BC. So keeping it on B, can you see this? Cut an arc up, then cut an arc down also. Then go on to point C and cut an arc up over there and down as well, without changing the radius of the compass. Can you see these green arcs? Perfect. Wherever these two intersect, that is at this point here and this point, if you join, you get your second side bisector. The point of intersection of these two side bisectors, let me call it as point O. Keep your compass on point O, extend till C and then draw your circle. See? Keeping it on O, extend it till C, draw your circle. Automatically what you will get is your circumcircle. Your circumcircle should pass through all the 3 points A, B and C. One secret. Let's say if you tried it and it does not pass through all the 3 points, obviously you're going to lose your marks. What to do at that time? The best method is cancel it, do it again. Okay, joking. Let's say if you don't have time and you want to rectify it, what you must do, listen to it carefully and don't share it with anyone else. It's a secret only between us. Keep your compass a little higher than O and then check whether it is connecting all the 3 points A, B and C. If it connects, draw a circle. If it doesn't work that way, go below O, go on the left, go on the right, because your center is going to be somewhere here only. And you must have messed up because you are not accurate with your side bisectors possibly. Then find your correct center over here without poking your compass, otherwise there will be a hole and you will be caught. So gently keep your compass, find out the exact center of the circle, from there draw a circle and then this point O, make it little dark so that the center that you have shifted is not seen by the teacher. Is that smart? Try it. But to try it, purposely don't mess up your sum and then try cheating. If you're getting it directly, very good. If you're not getting it, then try it. I hope you get your circumcircle well. Now that you've got your circumcircle, that is the third part or third segment of the entire topic, I want you to try circumcircle once more so that we are very sure, because according to me, the favorite question on the board could be a circumcircle this year. So how to go about the circumcircle again? Let's try sum number 9. Pause the video, draw the rough diagram, come back and then we will discuss. Pause it. Alright. Can you see the rough diagram right on top over there? It says draw a triangle ABC with BC as 4, ACB 45 and the perpendicular from A onto BC is 2.5. So they have given you the height of the triangle and what you need to do is draw a circumcircle right at the end. So let us first construct the triangle. But this height thing, how to draw it? We have done this in standard 9. If you remember in standard 9, whenever there was height given, we used to go outside the circle, draw a height up over there and then again one more 90 degree, the parallel line. If you don't know, relax. First draw your base, get 45 degrees on angle A and then we'll talk further. So I'm drawing my base. If you're with me, you're cheating. So better pause the video, try on your own and then come back. So first I'm drawing the base as AB, which is BC, which is 4 centimeter, and now ACB 45. How will I get 45 degrees? For that, first I'll have to get 90 degree. Alright, I've extended the line. We will talk about that a little later. So first, this is 4 centimeter. Keep your compass on C. How will I get 45 degrees? So listen, try it, then come back and see. Don't see and then try. Okay, use your own brains. Keep your compass on point C right over there. Cut an arc of 180 degrees. Okay, then from 0 cut one arc, from 180 cut one more arc. Draw a straight line, you get 90. Then take 0 and 90, cut arcs. What you will get is bisecting 90, which is 45. Let's see how to go about it. Keeping your compass on C, 180 degrees. Can you see this here? Keep your compass on this point now, 0. Extend it, cut your arc. Keep it on the other side. Without changing the radius, cut one more arc. Point of intersection and see, if you draw a line, you get 90 degrees. So we managed to get 90, but 45 still is our target. Now keep your compass on 0 down over there. Cut an arc. Without changing the radius, keep your compass up over there on 90. Can you see that? And cut an arc. Point of intersection and see, when you join, what you will get is 45 degrees. So we managed to get 45 degrees. You get here, you get your 1 mark for sure. Now the last part, the last piece of information given to you is the height 2.5. So fix a point M outside. Again, draw a 90 degree from M. So keeping it here. Now you have got two choices. Instead of taking this 90 degree from here, I could have used this one also. But I just wanted to make it look little decent. So I'm drawing one more 90 degree outside from M. Same procedure, 180 degree just like this. Keeping on 0, can you see at this point, which is 0, cut an arc. Go ahead. The other point 180, cut one more arc. Combine these two, that is point of intersection and M together. And what you get is another 90 degree. From M, cut an arc of 2.5 because they said that the height of the triangle is 2.5. Fix that point as point N and you got your height. Got it? From N, we'll have to draw one more 90 degree. So again from N, that is this point, which is 2.5 centimeters, cut an arc like this. Can you see? Can't? Now can you see? So 180 degree. Then at 0 right on top, cut one more arc and come down at 180, cut your second arc. Wherever these two intersect, join it with N, and what we get now is our second 90 degree, which is parallel to the base. So this, can you see, will be parallel to the base. So that means if you are using common sense, what will happen now? So what you can see now, this height is 2.5 and 45. So this point of intersection now becomes your point A. There you go, your point A. Can you see up over there? Join AB and your triangle is ready. How to draw circumcircle? CS, side bisector. So draw two side bisectors quickly and you get your circumcircle. So let's go about it. So first from point B, one arc on top and one arc at the bottom. Then from point C, one arc on top, one arc at the bottom of suitable radius. But once that radius is fixed, don't change the length of the radius, keep it same. Okay, can you see those arcs? The 2 points of intersection, join both of them, and what we get is the side bisector of BC. Get one more side bisector either of AC or BC or AB, anything is fine. So AB I'm taking, arc on top and down without changing the radius. So there you go down. Then again from point A up over there, arcs on top and down. So I have changed the colors of arc. You're not supposed to take different pencil colors. Only one pencil. I have done it so that it is easily identifiable for you. Once these arcs are drawn, join them. You get your second side bisector. Wherever the two side bisectors intersect this point, name it as point O. And now from point O, what you're going to do, get your compass on O, extend till C and see whether it connects A and B. Don't directly start. First see, are you accurate? If you're not accurate, you know what you're going to do? Yes, don't tell anybody, quietly do it, okay? So keeping it on C, I'm extending it and I get a complete circumcircle. If it is not accurate, shift your center somewhere over here close to this point O, find your actual center, get your correct circle, and quietly make your point B slightly bigger. Don't tell anyone, alright? So that's your circumcircle. One more time with it. The fourth thing we're supposed to get into is your incircle. Before getting into incircle, I want to do with you sum number 10 and 11. So what is 10 and 11? Let's look at it. The next one that I want you to start with is sum number 10 and 11. But before getting into 10 and 11, we need to understand these four things. Have you heard about median, angle bisector, side bisector, altitude? When any of these are joined, like let's say three medians, when they are joined in a triangle, what is our point of intersection called? So let us try and understand all of that with the help of this chart. So what does the chart tell you? So the chart, if you look at right on top over there, perpendicular bisector, here this. So when I draw three perpendicular bisectors and the point that it intersects, it is going to be equidistant from B, A and C. Because now you can draw something called as circumcircle. We just now did it. And if it is circumcircle, that means PB, PA and PC. All three are radii. So all three are equal. And point P is called as circumcenter. The second one is your angle bisector. So IA, Indian Airlines. So Indian is incircle, A is angle bisector. So when you want incircle, you are going to draw angle bisector. Since it's an incircle, the point of intersection of three angle bisectors where they meet will be called as incenter. Are you getting it? The third one, right up over here, if you look at that, you've got a median. Median is a line which goes and intersects the opposite side at the midpoint. When you see three medians like this, the point of intersection is called as centroid. Can you see right over there the centroid for this triangle? And the last one, that is your altitude. Altitude is the perpendicular drawn from the vertex to the opposite side. So when you draw three altitudes, the point that where it meets, right over here, this point S, it is called as orthocenter. Orthocenter. So I thought I'll pass on this piece of information to you before we start with sum number 10. So here we go with sum number 10. Perpendicular bisectors. Can you see? I have drawn three perpendicular bisectors. The first one right over there down. The second one here on top. Yeah, and the third one there. So when three perpendicular bisectors intersect, what is the point of intersection O called as? Okay, so what do you call point O? Circumcenter. Super, because from there you can draw a circumcircle CS. So try and remember that. What is the relation between OA, OB, OC? I just taught you. OA, can you see this distance between O and A, O and B, O and C? It's the same. Why? Because you are able to draw a circle and A, B, C lie on the circle. So that means all three are radii. There you can see OA, OB, OC, all three are radius of the same circle. So all three are equal. Does the perpendicular bisector of BC pass through O? So if I draw a perpendicular bisector of BC, will it pass through O? Obviously yes. When you draw three perpendicular bisectors, all three of them will pass through one point and the point is called as circumcenter. Next one, 11th. Bisectors of angle A, B and C. So can you see A ka bisector and B ka bisector which I have drawn meeting at point O. From there what can you draw? Angle bisector, incenter, IA, Indian Airlines. So what will be point O called as? That's your first question. Incenter, superb. Once you get the incenter, the next question. OR and OQ are drawn perpendicular to AB and CA. What is the relation between OR and OQ? So OR and OQ will become same. Why? Because you are drawing in circle and this time R is here, Q is here, so they become your radii again. So that's your second question, radius of the same circle. What is the relation between angle ACO and BCO? Here, ACO is here and BCO is here. What will be those both of them? Obviously this is your bisector because it is meeting at point O, and therefore this point over here, can you see both this one and this one, both will be equal. Why? Because it's the bisector. So that's your last property. I hope you understand sum number 10 and 11 with the help of this. Let's move on. So till now, we've learned three things. Drawing tangents from a point outside the circle, drawing tangents from a point on the circle, circumcircle. Now what we are going to get into is incircle. Very simple. Incircle is just basically IA, Indian Airlines. So I is your incircle, A is your angle bisector. So I want you to try sum number 14. Sum number 14 says, construct a circle inscribing an equilateral triangle with side 5.6. So I have modified this question slightly. You can say that construct a triangle 5 centimeters, equilateral triangle, and then draw an incircle. Can you see the question on top? Okay, there you go. So let's see how can we construct this. I'm sure everyone can manage the triangle at least, the equilateral triangle 5 centimeters. Then draw two angle bisectors A and B, and then we'll see how to get into incircle. So first my base AV of 5 centimeters. So plotting point A and then plotting point B as well, and marking. Labeling, very important. Please don't forget to label even your rough diagram. You don't draw a rough diagram, you straight away lose 1 mark. So AV 6 centimeter. Keeping your compass on point A, cutting an arc of 6 on top. Then on B, cutting another arc. I'm sure everyone must have got your triangle without my help. So there is your point C, the point of intersection. Join it with A and B. Automatically what you get is your triangle ABC. Once you got your triangle, how are you going to get your incircle? Incircle is very difficult to get an accurate one. So please listen to me carefully. First, angle bisector of A. Keep your compass on A. Just you can see there on the screen now. On A after 6 centimeters. Take suitable radius and cut an arc. So there you go, on point A, keep your compass. Cut an arc of suitable radius. Without changing it, keep your compass now on this point at 0 and cut an arc further, or you can slightly extend it. Then keep here the point on this compass on this point and cut one more arc. Wherever they two meet, join it with A and you've got your first angle bisector. Can you repeat the process for angle B without looking into the video? So keeping the compass on B, cutting an arc, can you see right over there? Then on 0 down, cut one more arc, then go up, cut your second arc. Point of intersection with B, if you join, just like this, you will get your second angle bisector. Once you got the two angle bisectors, we've got the center of the incircle, that is called incenter. But how to draw this incircle is a big question mark. So many children I have seen, they keep the compass on O like this and they directly draw the incircle, whereby they lose 1 mark. Because whenever incircle is asked, you are expected to drop a perpendicular down. So how are you going to drop a perpendicular down? Keep your compass on point O, extend it, suitable radius, cut an arc on AB, just like this. Can you see? Without changing the radius, cut one more arc on the other side. There you can see that. Without changing the radius. And then from these two new points that you've got, cut further arcs down. The point of intersection of these two arcs there, along with O, if you join both of them, what you will get is your perpendicular being dropped down. Why are we drawing this perpendicular? Any clue? Because this point where it is hitting AB, can you see that point over there? That is called M. That becomes your radius of the incircle. So I will call this point as something maybe. Keep your compass on O, measure till M, and then construct your incircle. So to get the radius of the incircle, we have to drop this perpendicular. Again, incircle, very difficult to get an accurate incircle. Most of the children don't get it. Either this doesn't touch here or it goes outside. So the cheating method, find your exact incenter by shifting your compass somewhere close to this point. Wherever you get all the three sides touching, draw a circle from that point. Extend this point O so that the center is not seen and your incircle is ready. I hope you get it. So we did all 4 things. Only thing left is hexagon. So in this video, we've understood 4 things. Tangents from a point outside the circle, tangent from a point on the circle, incircle, circumcircle. I hope you enjoyed all of these 4 parts. Only thing left is hexagon, which you will see in the next video. So for your homework, There you go. I want you to do sum number 2, 3, 5, 9 and 13. Please do your homework and the sums in the video honestly. It is going to be very simple for you, trust me, because it's a very simple topic. I hope you enjoy it. Until the next video, stay safe, take care. Hope you had a lovely mathematics experience with the Rough Book, our learning companion.